So I'm cooking in the kitchen. This is where I get a lot of my insights from. Either this or if I'm smoking, right? And it don't just have to be weed. It could just be regular herbs too. And what came to mind was the fact that you got a lot of this abundance mindset, multi-billionaire mindset shit that people stay talking about. People want to be a billionaire so fucking bad, right? But what nobody ever addresses is the fact that billionaires have to go through some shit, right? There is some trauma there at some point in time. Because you have to make decisions. The more you aggregate power unto yourself, you have to make some decisions that you are going to have to learn how to sleep with at night, right? And I know this because I wanted to be a billionaire. I still do to some extent. I want to be one so that I can fix the problems in society that I know a lot of people aren't going to be willing to fix. That's honestly just my ego talking. I don't have to be one. At some point in time, I'll probably make peace of that. But I should say my ambitions are going to cost money. I want to put more black people on book covers and have more black-owned businesses in the community that I invest in, and I want to be a force for good. You know what I'm saying? But I study a lot of billionaires because I believe if you want to be something, you got to study people who are already there so you can learn the ropes. And honestly, everybody that I've seen that's made over several $100 million, their eyes all have the same exact look. It's really dead and empty inside, to be honest with you. And I saw this even more when I watched Paris Hilton's documentary. And then when you ever get a chance to really sit down with them and look at what their life was like, that shit wasn't glorious. Even the wealthy ones, even the ones that came from some money. Because you got to think about it this way. Your life had to be so fucked up that you felt like you needed this much so that you could never live that life again. Either you or your family can never live like that again. That was how desperate your life had to make you, because the road to becoming a billionaire is littered with obstacles. Completely littered with obstacles. And you have to have such a strong drive and strong passion for what it is that you're doing that you just don't give a fuck, which means you probably went through some shit when you were younger. Probably got traumatized on some level. I can guarantee it. Because I'm looking at Bill Gates. He had a shitty ass relationship with his mom. Steve Jobs had a fucked up relationship with the fact that he was adopted. He never got over that. Fucking Jay-Z lived through Marcy Projects at the height of the 80s. Come on, son. 80s and 70s? Come on, son. Right? And these are just the people that I know of. These ain't even including the people that I don't know. Right? And I'm looking at the trauma that kind of is bred into them. And the question that comes up is this: how the hell can capitalism be a good thing? I need y'all to answer that question for me. Because if it requires me to go to such extreme lengths and basically be a traumatized individual in order for me to reach the heights of it, how is that beneficial for the overall progression of humanity? Now, I'm not anti-capitalism. Obviously, I'm doing this because I need to get followers and I need to, sell books eventually one day. And I want to own my own publishing company and all these other things, which are pretty much inside of the system of capitalism. What I'm saying is somebody got to come up with a better way to do this shit, because it just doesn't make sense. We're always going to need products and services because that's just how humans are. But I need a better system. And I am open to anyone that can show me a better way, because this just doesn't make sense. Of course, it's only 1% that make it to a billion. Have you seen how hard it is to get it to a billion? Jesus Christ. But I'm saying this because at some point in time, we did away with kings as a government structure, right? Even though you could technically argue we never really got rid of them, but that's not either here or there. What I'm saying is, we need a better way. And I need people who are thinkers, who are not as traumatized as I am mentally, to start thinking of better ways that we can do this shit and really think about it. I mean, like, really put your mind to work so that we can have a better way of doing shit, because I don't see why I gotta go through all of this unnecessary shit. Now, trauma, this is just a thing. Trauma is something that is inherent. We were built to withstand systems. That's just how we are, right? And I'm not advocating for trauma. I'm saying that our bodies are, we adapt to trauma. That's just how our bodies are made, because living in the wilderness is difficult. What I'm saying is, we are at the point in the human continuum where we can manage that shit. We need better systems. That's all I'm saying. So I'm gonna think about it, and I want you to think about it too. And together we gonna solve this shit. All right, deuces.